Yeah, how cooked is Cook? How cooked is Fed Governor Lisa Cook? I've just read an article from the Washington Post. I'll read a couple excerpts here. I won't subject you to all of it, but the author, what's her name? The author, Megan McArdle, is making a case. Well, is it fraud or is it a witch hunt, right? Is this worth prosecuting or is it a witch hunt? And she is leaning toward the second. And I actually am leaning toward the second, and I don't mind. All right, hello everyone, it's Michael here at This Way TV. I'm glad you're here getting your news this way. Instead of that way, go in the description below. I'm about to launch a story seminar. It's going to be a price of admission for some of you. Just email me at michael@thiswaypictures.com if you have the faintest interest in being a part of the seminar. It'll be online. There'll be some in-person but live streamed events as well, and we will be studying this curriculum. All right. Also, there's a couple other things in the description. We have a Discord server. I also have a sister channel where we do live streaming Bible devotional. Join us there. Okay, so the argument that this woman makes in her article in the Washington Post is that some fraud is inevitable and not ideal, but worth ignoring. That's the case she's making. It's worth ignoring. And we all kind of actually understand this principle. For example, 0 deaths should be permissible by automakers, right? Automobile makers, they know there's faults and flaws, and it should be 0 deaths allowed. But it's impossible to make a car that won't crash, right? It's impossible to make a car that won't crash. You just have to, you build it safe enough, but then there's literally statistics say the death rate if we do this thing and the death rate if we do this thing, right? We have to decide, are we going to spend more money to put this safety thing in to reduce the deaths, or is the cost benefit analysis, if we don't do that, we'll sell more cars, there'll be more deaths, but, right? Every business has to take that into account. And that's kind of what she's saying here. It is cost prohibitive to ferret out all the fraud, mortgage fraud, right? It's not ideal, but a certain percentage of it should be allowed and tolerated. So let me just read these couple of paragraphs that get straight to the point that I want to comment on. You can argue that a Fed governor has to be above reproach, but you can also argue that this is an almost victimless crime, and that the current investigation is a pretextual witch hunt that threatens the Fed's independence. I, for one, find that second argument pretty convincing. Second paragraph that I want to read. That might suggest turning a blind eye even if she did lie to her mortgage lender. The problem is that though it is true that the optimal amount of fraud is not 0, the system can't afford to publicize that fact. We learned that lesson from the shoplifting debacle, etc. So she's making the case, this is just a witch hunt. Everybody does it. Ignore it. The problem is, this is the Fed. They have to make these decisions. She's a professor, an economics professor. There is no chance that this was a mistake or an accident or an oversight. This was overt, willful fraud, which goes to character. Do we want this independent institution to have low moral character? There should be higher scrutiny. And yeah, maybe it is a witch hunt, because if you break the law, now we can get you out. It doesn't threaten the independence. Independent of what? Independent? There is no, you can't run a republic with independent agencies doing willy-nilly. So I think the Fed should be ended. Comment in the description, or comment in the below in the comment section of you think we should maintain the Fed or if it should be completely dismantled. Oh, Christian people, your only salvation lies in the power of unity. God is in control.